Congressman Lloyd Doggett of Austin, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Good to join you.
So, did you see President Biden today? And if so, what did he say to you, especially considering you were the first member of Congress to call on him to step aside and not run for re-election?
Well, I welcomed him here to the city. That's the only place I've ever called home, Austin. He couldn't have been more courteous and welcoming in his response. Our conversations were brief, but I thanked him for his sacrifice to the country in stepping aside and giving us a chance for success. And he thanked me for my call.
I was just going to ask you, what did he say in return?
Yeah, he thanked me for the call, very brief, and we visited again much along the same line downstairs here as he took photos with me and my wife. Professional to all the core, and I think his speech was great.
Why do you think Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket instead of President Biden will be better for Democrats?
Well, of course, I'd be for either one of them, but looking at the numbers over the last year, it was clear that we were falling behind and that we fell further behind after the debate. My call to the president to step aside had nothing to do with his ability or his work as president, but it had everything to do with whether or not we would turn the country over to Donald Trump and see the reversal of all that good work. And so that's why I think we were on a path to defeat, and we're now on a path to victory, but it's an uphill climb. I think Trump has the advantage. We've got to struggle to get this election won.
I was just going to ask you, how would you describe the road ahead? It's not a done deal?
Absolutely not. And Vice President Harris is less known around the country, but the spirit that we see out there, the excitement over having a younger candidate, a new alternative that people have been asking for months, gives me great hope that we can win this.
As you may have heard, not all Democrats in the Texas delegation were too excited about your call for President Biden to step aside. Congresswoman Crockett of Dallas said she described the Democrats' criticism as a circular firing squad. How would you respond to that?
Well, I would say she's about the only one who voiced that point of view. I got plenty of encouragement from colleagues who said that they wish they could say the same thing for one reason or another. Didn't feel they could. I wish more of my colleagues had spoken out earlier and we had an additional couple of weeks to work, but we are where we are and it's still possible to achieve victory. And now I think we are all pulling together behind Kamala Harris.
Any names you want to divulge on members of Congress who thought
No,
agree with
most
you?
of them were in frontline positions where they faced really tough races, and I understand in a couple of cases I encourage members not to come out because I recognize that it would be a challenge for them to alienate one part or another of the base they needed to win the election. It's so essential that we not only elect Kamala Harris, but that we have a Democratic House and Democratic Senate, and it's very close.
Who do you like for Kamala Harris's VP?
I like anyone who can help her win this election.
Who do you think that would be?
I think that she has a good bench to choose from, and I'll leave that decision to her, but it's probably someone from one of the battleground states.
A governor?
Might be a governor, might be a senator. We've got some good people to choose from.
And my last question to you is, and I appreciate your time, what were your thoughts on the president's call for reforms today, presidential immunity and Supreme Court?
Well, I served as a state Supreme Court justice here in Texas and chaired the Ethics Committee, and I'm deeply concerned about the way the standing of the U.S. Supreme Court has deteriorated as we see ethical mishaps by two members of the court, two justices, who don't believe they're accountable to anyone. And I think certainly the code of conduct that the president called for is very important. The court should have done that themselves. They've not established a meaningful code of conduct. That's number one. Number two is the question of whether we make a change in the way the court, currently the justices are for life, whether we change that to a tenure of, I believe, 18 years. I think that is an approach that probably has merit. There's some question as to whether it can be applied to the current justices on the court and moving them to senior status. And so nothing will happen on either of these issues as long as we have a Republican House in Washington. The third matter is one of the reasons that really moved me to do the public call to the president, and that is the immunity decision. The notion, as Justice Sotomayor said, that a president can be guilty of murder or bribery in office and be immune from prosecution is anathema to me. It is contrary to what I think our American values are. We need to change that, but we can only change it through a constitutional amendment, which will be a lengthy process and require 2/3 vote in the Senate.
And President Biden won't be around.
That's right.
At this point in
I expect
time.
he'll be an advocate for this, but this is a longer range project that will take some time to accomplish.
Congressman Lloyd Doggett of Austin, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Nice to see you.